Whether it's card draw or interacting with our opponent on the stack, Jeskai is a very cool list in doing exactly that. Well, our main plan here is to control the board state and gain life if we need to off something like a Lightning Helix or activating our Celestis. We can also interact with our opponent in a ton of ways, as that is this deck's specialty. Whether it's marching something early and getting it off the battlefield, like a token to counter a Gleeful Demolition, or just exiling something like Kamano or a creature. This has so many uses, and in the late game, it also is very nice in order to remove something bigger if needed. Outside of that, we have the No More Lies as our temporary counter spell. Good early, sometimes good late. It's very depend. Its use, holy cow, its utility depends on what the matchup is. If it's a heavy mana deck, this card's still good throughout the game. If it's not, and it's a low dinky deck like mono red with 6 mana, this card's not that great. Outside of that, Lightning Helix, great card. Man, I just fumbled the bag. But we did make a couple spicy additions. Before I go too deep, I talk about it way more in the outro and the games I think explain it. We did add an Urbrax Force to the main board along with a Jace the Perfected Mind. These are kind of filling the same gap as like a Teferi and Ojutai would. It's just one of answers to different type of matchups. For example, if our opponent wants to sit there all day and they don't have artifact removal, we're going to play an Urbrax Forge and just have it grow over and over and over while we develop our hand size, get our hand a little bit better to find better answers, and then have this be a lot closer to kind of one-shotting or maybe two-shotting our opponent, as our Urbrax Forge puts in a lot of work. There's many times I've played control and without this march or just countering it on the stack that this Urbrax Forge takes over the game. So in those control matchups, I like having this one of answer in the deck along with the Jace the Perfected Mind. We maybe get their domain sometimes has an awkward time dealing with this, so it's just nice in general to have these one of bullets. And that is either card draw, board wipes, more looks, more board wipes, other looks, even more board wipes, you know, and that's what we do here. So outside of that, let's go ahead and hop into the games. And if for me, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. Helps me out a ton, and I'll see you all in the outro. I guess I'm ready. As ready as I'll ever be. I'm not entirely sure if this. Dog cam. Dog. Yeah, I'm perfectly ready. Come on, Convoke, have at thee. I'm so ready for the fast lands of the other colors to be in. Obviously, for some people, they're like, yeah, but Boros gets a lot stronger. Even though it's... I don't think mana a lot of times has ever really been their issue. It could be, but I've never been like, wow, Boros drew no mana. They kind of did it anyway. I mean, that's fine. I'm just gonna lock down both these, I think. Not cool with taking the damage? Yeah, I think so. Here. Block it down. We'll have to deal with an Adeline next turn. They could have the thing that blows up enchantments, however. Destroy evil, I believe. Sometimes these decks will play it because they need to get like a shielded out of the way or like a big threat out of the way. Sure, that makes sense to me. That also makes sense to me. Good loss. A fine draw here. I would just pass. I have the Helix. Everything's fine. I can get this Thalia off the battlefield. We do need to draw a land though, apparently, which kind of sucks. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of needing to draw the card here. My March is 3 mana extra, so it's 4 mana to get one of these off the board here. It is something we have to worry about. We'll see. All right, they're back. After a long tank, we get kind of a do nothing and activate. What do you find here? It's top 4 cards. Grab a creature with 3. Makes sense. That makes sense. We don't have to worry about another Thalia coming down, so we'll go ahead and Lightning Helix that now. I could, in theory, just march this. I don't think the 2 damage is going to really be a difference. It could be at the end. Somebody clip that part in case, you know. At the end, I die by 2. where I would have lived or won the game after, you know. Another activation, just a hand build up. Listen, if we want to play this game, I'll play this all day. If we're just gonna play build up hand simulator, I'll do it. You still have to get them down, and that's a good card to break it open. I'm gonna ensure I keep hitting land drops here. Let's still march that out of the way. Not really in the mood to. Make sure we have a white just in case, so I can keep his fairy around.
The entire multiverse is
Make it 2/2.
It's nice to see a familiar
Which will
face.
force me to kind of either remove this officer or I can just block. We'll see. I'm not opposed to marching, getting rid of my get lost because of the fact that I don't really want him to have map tokens. Especially this deck, because then it turns like one creature into a big threat. One of the few matchups where like maybe a Faithful Absence is a little bit better, but not entirely sure. Just drawing a card sucks. Yeah, a fairy. Took 2 turns to pay in your recruitment officer. Especially now. Time I'm going to get this recruitment officer off the battlefield. I have to submit this. I understand that align's bad, but preventing them from making a token here feels good enough to me. Plus, this is actually going to be a 4/4, believe it or not. And an Emperor is just the draw we're looking for. Take another draw. Find another land. It does nothing in this matchup, so that's very cool. And then make 3 creatures. There's 1. This is big. I block. I Emperor something, or I put a counter on this and kill the Adeline without anything. It could just Sunfall, but they do have creatures in hand, so there's no real point. I do attack though. I have enough to kill it on a double block, but if I play an Adeline, they do not, and I would kill both. Or if they double blocked, I would then play Wandering Emperor, put a counter on it, and then it would actually remove both their creatures. And mine would stay around, so there's no reason not to, especially considering it has vigilance. What do we have here? We're going to see a pump. Ossification. That makes sense. The fairy, you're gone. No way, that's not what gets taken out here. You have another ossification. Maybe that's what the tank was for last turn. No attack. I will start producing creatures then. Here's the cool thing about Memory Deluge being 1 more mana here, is that we actually get to look at 1 more card thanks to Thalia, which is not normally the case. But back here. Now the same rule applies as last time, but we're just getting 5 damage in for free. Build a Ruin, not really going to do anything considering it's on a basic. Can destroy that enchantment, but right now it's not necessarily required. Our Sunfall makes a 5/5. Do have an Emperor in play. If we don't get rid of it, by our 5/5, it actually just grows every turn. 1 more land, and we might see an adversary pump twice. Make Adeline huge. Thalia would be large as wow. We could actually just block the Thalia. So strike for 4, and then we could block the Adeline with 1 of our 2/2s. Interesting. So we fire it off. Get 1 pump here, probably. Adeline, if attacks, can still be traded. Sure. Yes. Trying to basically ensure that it dies here. So we're probably looking to Sunfall here. Let's take a look first. What we got? So quick study. I think we're looking at cards here, especially considering we're sun falling. So I'm gonna just grab double quick study, and we'll just throw this under the bus. Throw this here, just in case maybe we draw something else. Temporary lockdown's like kind of okay, I suppose. Might even be able to combat trick them here. We can go to 7, and if they don't block, we kill them. 7, because we would draw. Yeah, wild to think about, but
Show them
this
how
one?
we greet our enemies.
Do we get lethal here? Absolutely. 8, 9, and 11. Just like that, the creature that draws finds lethal. Very cool. Unwilling to block. We find a way to get past aggro with our 11/11 creature that started at 2 power and toughness. Go first. Our hand's great. Come at thee, Boris. I'm just saying come at me, Boris, every single time. It's not going to change. We're on the play, so our hand is fine to play off the Restless Spire first. We don't have to have the mana up for the march right away. But knowing the client, I have this hand and it's against control, but it looks like mono red maybe. We're going to get hit with the play with fire here. Be told to have a good time, even though we might not. Lockdowns will be so-so here because Godric and Squee and things like that dodge the lockdown. We'll have to find something a little bit better, I think. But if they're like Kamano, a little bird, things like that, we can definitely tune up. Felden is also an answer. Taking the 2, I don't really feel that interested in Lightning Helixing a Felden right now. Will my mana work out if I hold? Maybe. I'm just going to go ahead and Lightning Helix him and try to bridge the gap. We draw another Helix, and now I feel way better about that play. I'm looking to march it. Our land is cool, but it only gets first strike on our turn, I believe. Until it becomes... As long as it's your turn, this creature has first strike. It's still a land. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, let's Lightning Helix to Squee. Could technically march to Felden here. I'm not looking to do so, because next turn I might have to march another Squee. Play this, and then we'll just play the Secret Coast tap next turn. It came tapped either turn, but now we don't have to. I guess we didn't have to pitch a card for the march either way, huh? Usually Codebreaker is pretty good. Both of these can be put under a lockdown though. So barring like a march here, I don't care. Oh, this is perfect. It's exactly what we wanted. We'll take the damage. Fine. Down to 14. They have 2 cards plus like a Squee on. They have a Squee on the back end here. Takes all my white, so maybe a little misplay, not keeping up the march, but at some point we're probably fine. Like it could just be burn in the hand. It could be the big removal spell. It could be Nahiri's 3 mana spell. There's a lot of things it could be. Twist Spear is like obviously kind of where I was. Yep, here we go. Not having a white in play is looks like it's going to bite us. And remember, we do have 3 white, but the Secret Coast enters tapped. We take 5. All right. Well. Looking a little bit better here. Is pass. This is why the Emperor finds itself so hard to remove out of the deck in general. That's why I like never remove my Emperor. Pass. Do you have anything else special for me? Be lethal, you never know. Second Monstrous Rage would be best. I don't know why it implied they just highlighted my Adhikar waste. Fair enough. This one. Taking the other removal spell or the burn spell out is nice because that gives our Emperor chances of living. 4 in there. They need 5 because they have to exile 4, so they're 1 short. Also, they have to hit a land too, so it's not like just cut and dry. Really, I'm gonna plus here. I have any answer to a hate. I guess I could have brought that up and then done it that way, huh? Yeah, that was a mistake. I always forget this is only like 2 mana to activate, so it's actually very cheap to do this here. Yeah, and we definitely need to, because we're gonna have to find some answer. So that's Big Teferi's actually good. Big Teferi would be nice. Then we can make a 2/2 and then hold up a march. Maybe our Emperor's gone. It is. That play with 5. That Emperor gained us 2 life, so I'm fine with that. Now they're looking to try to bring back their squee, but they still have to hit a land drop. The one time in which, like, Mono Red is just probably begging for a land. But you can go ahead and attack. If they do hit a land, sick. Say his name and he will show. It's like Baby Teferi, the 3-mana one, where everybody was so afraid of him. They're like, I hope my opponent doesn't have it. And then on turn 3, they had it every time. Here he comes. Here he does not show up. This is Ward 2. Very cool. Do they have enough? There's like no way, right? Yeah. What am I doing? Meant to grab the march, chat. Shut up. Fine. I meant to grab the march because I'm pretty sure it's 1 mana. I could be wrong. I meant to grab the march and I messed up. It's okay, everybody. Relax. It's fine. I can't believe I did that, dude. I just went, yeah, sure, here, dude. I don't know. If they do bring out the squee, we will march it. Oh, boy. All right. They have a land. What do we have? Sunfall. Sunfall's pretty cool. You too.
Don't feel bad when you lose.
Here we go.
Nobody knows the past better.
Lock it in. Now, should we have a 2-mana removal spell here? Probably, but I'm not saying nothing. What you got for me? Do you have an answer for both? I will block. I have to. Time to make this trade. Yep. Very cool. That's now off the battlefield, and I don't have to worry about it. Played a Swiss Spear post combat. That's kind of wild. Am I down to make another 2/2? I have to memory deluge first, I believe, before I decide what I'm doing with that. I am now okay with making a 2/2, which means I'm gonna grab this.
I've got eyes everywhere.
I guess to play with fire, I can't even counter, huh? Gotta be like lightning strike. They concede, okay. Other than our massive blunder, I think that went pretty well. It's fine. Don't worry about me. In paper, you just say, oops, grab the wrong card out of my hand, smiley face, ha 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 ha. All right, opponent goes first. We can technically have Lightning Helix on 2. Hate how we have to do it. I would love, okay, well, I guess I don't have an opinion. Get that Lightning Helix ready. Yes, sir. Actually, is Counterspell going to be better than the Lightning Helix? I play this, they play, yeah, probably. Because they can counter like a Godric or something. My mana will curve out fine here, thanks to there's no more lies. So dead. Alright. They said beat me once. I'll show back up and kick your teeth in. And I said, okay, yes, sir. I'm sorry. Won't happen again. Yes, sir. Oh, Kamano's tough. I secretly think Kamano is way better than what they got going on here. Yeah. Dude, it just deals damage, puts counter on a creature, and then also just like... Yeah. That's the time to play with fire, man. Sure. Try to the top. Not a fan. I just saw Tex go without the card. That was pretty funny. What do we got? March? And actually just really, really good. I just don't have another one. Ugh. It's just like so close on everything, huh? There's a Godric. Well, to be fair, I know what I'm lightning helixing. So it like works out fine in that retrospect. And then we'll just have to probably ill time. I guess not. We just march that all today. Oh man. Yeah, guess that's true. Pass here. I just march the Felden and then try to ill time the rest of the board. Maybe they have another Felden in hand. I don't know. What you got for me, opponent? 3? An issue where I think I still will have to march the Felden because I don't want them to have the value at the end of the day. Yeah. This one. These ones. Not happy I still had to use the quick study. Another land. Godric. Nice. Nice card. I'm not dead. Put a lightning strike. But I feel dead. You know. Give me a turn. Draw a land. Ooh. Uh-oh. I'm in danger. I probably should have fired this off first, but you know, it's fine. Ah. All right, Mr. Opponent. No burn spell. I said so. No burn spell. Stop it. So annoying. It's so annoying. Alright, listen to me. Chat. This is the 3rd game in a row I've opened up with a 2-lander that's been fine. Because like March is playable, and if we hit the 3rd land, like all of our cards are good. And then for the next 7 turns, I didn't hit a land. So I'm gonna keep again. They're roughly 50-50s. So I'm going for it. All right. Let's see it. Let me see the miss. Want to miss. You got it for me. Sure, they play the less impressive creature of the lot. Like temporary lockdown might not be relevant, so let's just get that off the battlefield. Hey, we hit. Look at that. So let's talk about, man. Sometimes you just keep a 2-lander if your hand can work out. In best of 1, the way this the way the best of 1 turns out. A lot of times you can, because just best of 1. Oh no, and now it has haste. Help. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, that's fine. I'll take the big hit. I'll quick study. There's my counter spell. There's a land. Very cool. I now pass. They haven't shown a white, even though they can play the royal treatment, technically give this like protection. But they seem more like the aggro style here. This one?
Run away. You'll be safer.
Is it removal or is it protection? I'm gonna try. Because the problem is if they have like the burn spells or something, they're able to just burn my 2/2 out of the way and then also kill my Wandering Emperor potentially. So I'm just going to force them to have the protection spell instead. Very cool. Just plus here. I'll give him a chance. I'll give him an opportunity. That's fine. I didn't really care about the Emperor anyway.
That's it.
The fact that they were willing to lightning strike it, but also give me an opportunity to like make it 2/2 seems crazy to me. Sure. I will take the 3. Answering a creature with my No More Lies seems significantly better than just letting 3. I can just let 3 hit me. Okay, I will hit that with a lightning helix. My bad. Actually, I can temporary lockdown all this, I guess. Just draw more cards, ensure I hit more lands. I just take like 2 more damage here. Well, 3 kind of, I guess. Sure. Nothing? Okay. Try to hit land drops. Lightning helix me again, man. Just show me you have it. Yep. Really fighting to draw these lands. That's kind of wild. My quick studies will draw 2, and then the card draw for turn will be a land. Very close. Oh, it's because it got exiled. The Wicked Roll token also gets exiled, so I don't actually lose that extra 1. I forgot about that. Seems fair. I'm actually not that opposed to this. Yeah, I'll take a look. I'll take a look, see. See what their draw is. I have an ill-time explosion to pretty much pick up a lot of things here. The move. What a great draw. I love that card. I'm mad it's getting played against me right now, but I like it. Commit more, commit more, commit more, commit more. To the board. It's okay. I'm not a Sunfall deck. I wasn't lying. I'm an ill-time explosion deck right now. Yes, this can go. What else? I kind of like the rest of my hand. Get a lot. Farewell's kind of whatever. I guess it's just the land. Okay with letting the land go for now. We're in the battle of hands. Akimono sucks. Also kind of sucks for us. Exile Kimono. Oh, that's actually really, really good for us. Cool. Turn. Now if they just draw a land, we're guaranteed to gain a life. Do some nonsense. If this is 1 damage, I'm allowing it. Yep. Move. That's less to trigger. I will take the action to gain the life. Start the land here. Play this land. I will plus again. I'm not afraid to plus my emperors here.
I have got new moves to teach you.
Not afraid to plus here. What do you have? What card could possibly be in your hand? Pop this one. I'll obviously get a basic forest, but I'm looking to deck then at this point. I want to make sure I have the highest chance possible to draw like it's fairy, something relevant, or memory delusions, things like that, other quick studies. And just like that, we draw the fairy exactly like I asked. Very cool. With the fairy here, I'm looking to actually plus the fairy. Or am I? Witchstalker Frenzy still answers it, but we could counter Witchstalker Frenzy. If fire me, that's fine. I also can't counter it, so. Remember to lose is great. Put a counter on there. Now we have kind of a one-turn counter spell. Naked Seed. Very sick. Very sick. Go first. We start with 3 lands. Very cool. We have an Helix on 2. We have Celestis on 3 into Quick Study into Ojutai maybe. Very cool. We play our slow land here. What happens? Mono red. Mono red is everywhere today, man. Wild games. I mean, I guess it's midday for me. So, unlike normal where I record at night, midday typically means that people might be playing at work. You never know. I guess. I think it's just a massive point swing here. No land hit here, but I'll play Celestis. I guess I have a land. I don't really care. But we play Celestis, and now we'll have an Ojutai in play, I guess. They miss a land on a red fashion. Their hand's probably nuts, so we have to make sure we have enough mana and stuff to fight it back whenever we get the opportunity. Felden or... Ah, that's the one I was not thinking of. It's been so long since I've seen a bloodthirsty adversary. Good. Regardless. Could have marched something, but I'm not that concerned about it right now. Looking to just pass here, have this trigger. Yeah. Gain 1 life. This literally itself outpaces the Phoenix Chick. Jace, you are not good. Rick, it's not good. Get it out. Don't even consider it. Stop it. There's 3 here. Do I care? Maybe not. Sure. I don't want to put anything on a stack because the pause there tells me it's a monstrous rage. If I go to remove one, they'll just put it on the other one, and I'll actually get hit for more damage than just letting this kind of resolve through. Quick study. See what we draw here. No more lies, which is good. And now just march for 1, I think. I'm cool with doing that. Still an 8-turn clock. Obviously not so much in mono red. We're drawing lands like we're addicted to it. I have to wait 1 more turn before I really Ojutai anything. Sucks. I think I just turn it daytime. Gain 1 life. It's one of these basics. It's this Field of Ruin. Which I guess maybe I should have kept Field of Ruin because of Foundry. I always forget that that's something I should play around. Lightning Strike is 3 damage, yes. But I want it to flip back to Night, so I'm not casting a spell on my turn. Because now this Lightning Strike only did 2 damage if we counter it. Or didn't counter it. Temporary Lockdown, maybe not the best, but like better than another land here, I think. Especially considering they're stuck on 2 and this is going to counter their Godric, maybe. Then maybe. Yeah, it's fine. Put the Crimson Pulse. That off the board right away. All right. I'm gonna Ojutai. Take a look. No lockdown, I guess. I'm actually gonna return it back to hand. No reason to let it just sit there and get Witchstalker frenzied, I think. There's the Foundry that I picked my Field of Ruin for whatever reason. Really? Just like, I genuinely don't think they know that I have 2 mana up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty sure they made that play being like, they don't have mana anymore. Get it off the battlefield. I'm like, I sure still do. Like, I really do still have 2 mana up. Let's play this. Witchstalker Frenzy becomes incredibly hard here for them. To gain life at some point here. This is why I struggle so hard to make it daytime. Take the action. Temporary lockdown, not good, but better than basic land. Not a basic, but you know what I mean. What do we got here, opponent? You can bring up the Foundry, attack. I block. They play with fire or lightning strike it, things like that. They'd have to have another land for lightning strike. Could just be straight up a Witchstalker Frenzy. It is, which buys us a turn. That's fantastic. I will take it. Very.
The goal doesn't mean we have to be
Plus, I guess.
serious. Lighten up. Much to consider.
Reading that plus because they play with fire. My creature, they have Foundry that can then attack my Teferi. I was kind of going that route with it. Squee. Oh, good. Really good here. Could have lethal. I think they do. They could have lethal for Teferi. Depends where this 1/1 goes, I suppose. Also goes to Teferi. Less likely? More likely? If they have monster trades, they kind of wasted. Sure. It's fine.
Truth still eludes.
Maybe it's not a waste, but you know what I mean. Tempting. Devastating. I don't like anything what's happening right now. Next turn. Very locked down. You're just making it about as hard as it ever could be. You have Spire blocks. I have Emperors, things like that. So it's a little bit weird. We're looking to only let some of this come through. I did not think about the Phoenix chick. Be honest with you. I'm not even sure they thought about the Phoenix chick.
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it.
Here, here,
You're
here, here, here. In. It's this one.
See you later. May your blade strike true.
We'll just hold. We have 5 mana here. 2 marches. Another land coming down from them, which is actually great for us. Just march that right away. Stalker Frenzy, draw 2. On us, sure. Play 2 spells, so this activates. We'll take the action. Rid of the land. Memory to lose. Thank you. Something, finally. Something to really help us dig out of this game, for sure. Definitely take the action. Oh! Let one of them go to the yard, because we can use it. And now we have... Look at the top. I don't know. 8 plus 7. Or it's even more than that. We can look at the top 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-ish. Sure. I was like, I don't know how I would feel about an attack here. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Fine. Don't really have to go for the quick study there, considering I will have a lot of cards that actually work in general. This attack. It might double block. I doubt it. But sure, let's see it, opponent. See what you got. Looking a little tough for you now. Oh no. That's fine. Actually, doesn't matter. Let's do this a little bit weirdly, I think.
Now I've done it. Keep watch for intruders.
1, 0, here. Fine. I don't think the life matters as much now as it might have previously to this turn. In like regards to us being like, alright, you're actually now on a 2-turn clock. I could have attacked with this, but I'm just holding up max mana to Lightning Helix, Memory to Lose here. Make sure I'm good. No reason to tap out, then they play a creature I can't handle. We use arguably one of those. But we can also use this blocker on the back end. So I do feel like we're pretty much locking this up. Maybe Memory to Lose, finding another Lightning Helix. We can kind of wrap this game up. Alright, well, after 4 timeouts, I think it makes him concede. But, yeah. But after 4 timeouts, we find a dub. And salting mono red off. That's a phrase and a half, but that's fine. That's where I have to go. But yeah, stack. We changed a couple things, and the reason we changed it was to be a little bit more solid, just against control, kind of straight up. And that's putting an Urbrass Forge in and a Jace. We can either mill them or play a Forge and force them to use cards from their hand to interact with the Forge. Maybe a little bit harder for them to answer in their main board than it would be in a sideboard game. But yeah, and we have plenty of ways to kind of pitch it, just get rid of them, or just like not really have to use them. And it didn't really bite us at any point in any game here. Celestis being really good at removing it. Either from hand, Jace is just good. And a lot of matchups, regardless of what it is. Urbrass Forge, a little bit awkward, but that's why we only put 1 in. Outside of that, I mean, we try to just be solid across the board in pretty much every aspect of this game. Again, finding ourselves a little bit heavy on 3 drops and 4 drops, but that's roughly where we need to be at. We have a lot of early game interaction, like the March to Exile, anything that we need to. A lot of times this is targeting a token to counter a Gleeful Demolition by making its target invalid. Or we wait and then we No More Lies, Lightning Helix against the aggro decks. We have 1 Get Lost in here, but that is what it is. Temporary lockdown for, I think, obvious reasons at this point of being able to interact with anything on low to the ground. This could be Simic Artifacts, which we didn't see today. It could be Boros, which I also didn't see today. Mono Red was just everywhere, which is kind of weird to see, but maybe people are going back with the recent spoilers that are out and being like, well, Boros might not be a thing thanks to a white-black board wipe kind of. But yeah, now we have the quick studies, which is like a trimmable area if you really want to. You could also avoid this card entirely, maybe go for Memory to Lose, but I personally like this card a ton. I think just putting extra cards in our hand is great at any time when you're playing control, but I think this one does it really well whenever we're holding up that No More Lies or Lightning Helix and have that extra mana to afford a quick study. and they don't do anything, then we just quick study and draw extra cards. If you use control, they have to consider countering it because now you're drawing more cards than them, and it just gets like really, really weird for them. So quick study finds itself in here and gets us out of a lot of spots that are kind of tough to deal with. But outside of that, man, the Emperor showed up today. I can tell you that much. Holy, the amount of mono red that I needed this Emperor for is quite insane. It just felt like every match Emperor found value, whether that's making a 2/2, exiling something, or just keeping our life total high. Emperor's good, man. There's a reason it's played in a lot of formats, or was at least played in a lot of formats for a while, but there's a reason that it just never finds itself out of the white decks, even the aggro decks end up playing it sometimes. So that just speaks to how good that card's been. And then the rest is kind of board wipe or one of bullets to win the game. Whether that is, again, this Jace, this Teferi, Ojutai, which is sometimes like kind of just an aggressive look at the top three. 5 mana look at the top three, put the best card in their hand sometimes, and maybe gain us 4 life by just getting hit with removal spells. I have no idea. It's a little bit awkward. But outside of that, I don't really have a whole lot to say. I played Jeskai quite a lot, and this is the active list I played in best of 1, best of 3. The list is definitely different. There's no Forge or like Jace in the main, I think. But outside of that, thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, and goodbye.